Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Welcome to the Grow Tent, everybody. You have found the best growing channel on YouTube, man. The place where we simplify the approach for you so everyone can learn how to grow. We make it so simple, even I can understand. So I'm going to listen and learn right now.
Woo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Grow Tent. I hope you guys all had a fantastic weekend. It's not quite over, but it's almost over. It's freaking Sunday, which means the week's getting ready to start, but I hope you guys all have a great week too. Today we're going to talk about how your watering schedule will change whenever you're in flower, and you really need to stay on top of it because it does change actually two completely different times. And depending on what it starts doing, would give you some hints on how far along you are in your garden, especially if you had stunted them a little bit or have hurt them in the past. All right, but first, as always, guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, watch the full video. All that kind of stuff helps out a ton. I'm getting like this crazy reflection, like in my phone screen, in my eyes, and it's annoying the heck out of me. The other thing, guys, if you haven't joined our memberships page yet, you should probably check it out. You can find it at WTTGT, and the link to it or a version of it will be down in the video description below. You don't want to miss it. We have t-shirts that are getting ready to go live in the merch store coming up, and you only know when if you're on the membership page, because you guys know we don't ever my t-shirts go live one weekend or 1 week, and then they are closed down, and then you never get the chance to get those designs again, and they come with some really cool free gifts. All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about watering schedule and how it changes while you're in flower. So while you're in veg, this is it's pretty standard. You water like, it's soil grow about one time a week. You don't really water that much different whenever you're in cocoa either. I got a cocoa grow. They go a little bit sooner, but not like 2 or 3 times a day like some people like to tell you. That's craziness. So whenever you are in flower, your watering schedule is actually going to change 2 different times, and this kind of happens right after the stretch. So generally, if you're in a soil grow, you water every 5 to 7 days, depending on what size pot you're in. The smaller the pot, the bigger the plant. The more you water, the bigger the pot, the smaller the plant, fewer times you're going to water. So you're actually going to notice a change. So right when you get done with the stretch is basically whenever the plant's going to start transitioning from week 4. Week 4 is your transition week where they go from the stretch into their bulking phase. So you're going to notice a change that happens in your watering schedule. Let's say you were watering every 5 days. What you're going to notice is you're going to need to start watering around every 3 days, because they're going to actually they'll increase the amount of water that they're demanding. And you're going to notice it's going to be like a 25% increase in the amount of water they're demanding. So they're going to go through the water quicker, and that's just because of the phase of the flower they're in. When they go from, we all know the first phase of flower is the stretch. So that's weeks 1, 2, and 3. Week 4 is the transition week. They're transitioning away from the stretch, and they are transitioning into their bulking phase. That's the phase where they are going to consume the most amount of water, and you'll actually notice it. You'll be like, oh, I watered on Monday. I don't need to water again until Friday or Saturday, and then you're going to go in there on Thursday morning or Wednesday night, and you're like, holy cow, these things are light. They've never jumped up like this with needing water, and you'll actually see that physical demand jump up whenever you reach that point. So that's like the first stage of what you're going to notice they're watering. The next stage is actually they're going to take a sharp decline, and when you see this sharp decline, it could be week 8, it could be week 9, it could be week 10, depending on how long your flowering stage is. Basically, usually this happens around the beginning of week 8, and you're going to see them where they just stop drinking water. This is going to let you know that it is time to chop. And I bet if you got your loop out whenever they went through this change where they stopped drinking so much water, you're going to notice that they're going to be, your amber trichomes will be in full development. You'll see them throughout the bud, and it's just the plant's way of letting you know, hey, we're done with the watering. It's time to chop us down. So you see those actually 2 complete different aspects. The plant goes through this is the normal watering, which is weeks 1 through 3 of the stretch. You'll notice no change in the watering. The second phase of it usually happens around the middle of week 4 into week 5, where they go into their bulking phase, and they just start consuming massive amounts of water. It just picks up the number of, decreases the number of days in between whenever you need to water. And then finally they go on full, rehabilitation mode where like we're done with water, we're not drinking anymore. They enter AA and they don't want any water whatsoever. And the only thing you're keeping them alive whenever you're giving them water is just to adjust for the amount of amber trichomes you want on your body. That's all personal. Some people want it 5% amber, so as soon as they stop drinking water, it's time to chop them down. You might be a person that likes 50% amber. I don't know. Everybody likes different stuff. That's what's so cool about it. You chop it down whenever you're ready. That's one of the nice parts about growing the plant is you get to choose whenever it comes down. So you can sit there and I like it at 5%. So as soon as I notice that they have gone through that and they just don't want as much water as they used to, okay, great, chop. But you might be somebody that likes 50%. Now it's very important that you don't start overwatering these plants. Like, oh, well, no, I've been watering every 4 days. That's when I'm going to do it. And the plants are back to only wanting water every 5 days or 6 days because they slow down on how much they're drinking. You just have to adjust your water schedule back down and then carry out however much longer until you get the amount of amber development that you want, and you'll be just fine. All right. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I'll see you guys next time. This has just been Quick Tips with GT. Remember to check out the memberships page. You don't want to miss what's coming up. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. GT, I'm out of here.